Krystal Long. I started over a year ago as the Bridge Program Supervisor. So now I will be the director over community-based services, which will also oversee the Multisystemic Therapy program. Being that this current role is fairly new, the implementation of the program has been really, really great. Especially with the support around getting it up and running. So we're waiting for the actual application of it, but even just the startup of it has been really great. Even with Bridge Program and just seeing the successes and the outcomes after a whole year now, and a lot of the hard work and the grittiness, if you will, of what we put into the program and seeing it flourish and having it be an enhancement of the PRTF program, and similar to what the MST program will also be like. So I will say that before the Bridge program, it wasn't new for New Hope to work with families. So they were encompassed within the treatment program. Bridge program brought an aspect of that, though, that enhanced what it looked like into family cultures at New Hope. So actually being in the home, being able to work with not just a parent or a legal guardian, but even the extensions of that family, neighbors, other adoptive families and siblings, and so on and so forth. So Bridge program brought a different perspective and a different approach to be able to get these kids not just the treatment they need and the family to support that, but also being able to bridge literally the gap in them being able to reunify with these same families. And that's where the transition specialists, the staff on the Bridge program, are able to bring that approach. So it was a little different approach, but seeing it flourish within this year, we're able to see a lot of those kiddos go back home versus stepping down, or being able to address certain things with the family that we weren't able to maybe do in family therapy or without that Bridge program aspect. I've been saying these past couple of weeks, it's like history in the making, because New Hope is not necessarily known or hasn't had like a community-based program. So it will absolutely bring a unique an approach that PRTF has not had before. Along with Bridge program, we'll still be in the homes of these families. We'll still be making sure that they have the services and the treatment that they need at the level that they are appropriate for, but MST specifically will also bring a different approach in making sure that we can address concerns before they get to the PRTF level. We can help these families and build these skills and learn from these different dynamics, these relationship dynamics that have been challenged or strained, or whatever have you, where we can get in those homes and we can do some work with these families to not necessarily prevent PRTF levels of care, but also be able to address early onset of behaviors. Working at New Hope, my role is remote. So although my work is independent, although I supervise a team where we're all kind of scattered amongst North Carolina, one thing that New Hope has done or really fostered was a sense of community. So although I am remote and I do, work independently and, so on and so forth, I never feel isolated. I never feel like I'm alone, or I don't have support, or I can't engage with, the various roles in South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia. We're kind of all over the place now, but they have really invested in the culture where staff can continue to engage in and outside of the facility. And that's one of probably the most things I've enjoyed. Clearly, a lot can happen in a year. Personally, I'll set them separate. So personally, I will say that I do set specific goals for myself. I make it a point to make sure I have feedback from my superiors, making sure that I'm measuring my own strengths in the areas that I also need to improve in. I'm always looking for a way to grow and learn from even my current skill set and new skill sets. Another thing that I think that's really important is building relationships within the organization. I mean, we have so many different departments, so many different communities, so many different things, but building relationships is so valuable in getting insight and being able to introduce ideas and put yourself in those certain rooms with people you may not typically work with as well. But of course, out of all of that, I think probably the most important thing is to maintain a positive attitude. We have probably the hardest job in the world, I always say, and we work with some of the most challenging people. So even in challenging situations, it will always set you apart from the rest to remain positive and professional.